やべえ。
Let's go, baby. I'm
止まらん。
hyped. I love it. All right, Northwest. Let's talk
G2 are
about.
going to be like, are you kidding me?
Let's talk about why this is the
Akan
most
tomaran.
fun and vile circle. Look at those bridges. Look at the amount of teams who have to go from here over there.
Yeah.
It's the bridges that
Look at
kill
the
you.
space of it, the size of
Exactly.
it.
ちょっと待っ
It's
て、もうちょっと前
tiny.
から見
There
た。
are some small. They're all looking for that quick movement into the high priority areas. If they can maybe leapfrog it with a plane path like this, you know they'll do it. They'll take advantage of any small, tiny piece.
I always think back to the first 2 weeks, and I think when Desperados were fighting NIP, and at the time we said, why don't they just go a little bit further
俺を陽
south?
キャだと思
There's
ってた
that
の。
many-
そ
there's
れは
lots
ひ
of
ど
loot
い勘違い
places
だ
there.
よ。
And now that's kind of what they're doing. So you just think, why the hell did you waste all this time in those first 2 weeks doing that?
Give me a fun circle. Give me something good. Give me
Could
that Northwest.
We've never had a Northwest yet. It has happened in a bunch of other leagues, but we've
I
not
actually
had it
hate
yet.
playing it out as well. Like, it's,
Well,
it's
that's
that
the-
run
it's
up
that
to
cliff.
Beyond's
It's
Hill.
that
まあ、
cliff.
陰キャって感じでもないか
horrible,
もしれ
man.
ない
The
け
whole
ど、
compound
ま
is
あ
like,
性格が
you
悪
know
いだ
there's
け。
always that guy on top of you just medding. You're just like, well, I can't.
Hey, there we
Let's go,
go.
baby. I'm hyped. I love it. All right, Northwest. Let's talk
G2 are
about.
going to be like, are you kidding me?
Let's talk about why this is the most fun and vile circle. Look at those bridges. Look at the amount of teams who have to go from here.
いや、この勢いで全し、
It's the bridges
今
that
シー
kill
ズ
you.
ン全部見てたら、
Size of it.
It's
やべえって。
tiny. There are some. There's a lot of hills. There's a
こ
lot
の
of small
この流れで、
compounds. But if teams
今
are
シー
feeling
ズン全
brazen
部見
and
てたら
brave,
も
they'll
う、
continue
明
to
日の
just
この
kind
時
of
間になって
dominate
るよ。
them. I want to see how this plays out now because we've got some new people in new positions that
This is
could
the
really change
first
things
time.
up.
First time in the PEL, and we're into what, match 70 whatever.
I
This is,
can't count that
yeah.
high.
I
Yeah,
think
this
this
is
is like our 15th match of Sanhok, and this is the first time we're getting it. So we're going to see
最
some
近
very
の配信時間、ちょっと待って。最近の配信時間。200時間ぐらいかな。
very new rotation routes, new everything for the teams. And do you go early? Do you go late? What the hell do you do?
Boats become very, very viable. I think
Yeah.
that is a really good shout. If you have the opportunity and option of it, you've got to bank on it.
ちょっとさ、なんか
There's no
画面
easy
バ
way
グっ
to
たんか
cross
と
to
思う
this
からやめて
island,
くん
if
ねえ
I'm
かな。
honest. The bridges, they won't necessarily be camped. It's there's just not enough area around them for a clean kind of go through, right? You can't just go straight on there and not get shot at. And by the time you get there, let's say a G2, for example, you could have Raise Your Edge in front of you, Crow Crowd, maybe Liquid, and then even on the other side, you'd have 7. And they're not
210
even
時
the
間とか、
furthest out
最
teams.
近
You
は。
look at Ents, Reciprocity, they're going to have the similar issues.
最近昼やってない
This
しね、あんま
throws,
り。
you know, a real spanner in the works. I want to see what teams are prepared for this.
A G2 that used to drop in Camp Alpha. Now are going to be kicking
Yeah, it
themselves.
feels bad, man.
Yeah, so Razor Edge are already on the move. They're thinking, right, we got to get across this bridge somehow before 7 campers. Somehow. Game Allegiant, they're obviously delighted with this circle. They're going to go for the cliff, looks like. Now, the danger of this, being up there, is if it pulls away from it, and it generally eventually does, you're pretty screwed. Because it's a long drop.
It's really harsh. There's a couple of nice way downs. If you play this enough, you'll know.
あれっていうか、今回 PL 全部終わったけど、
Good.
今回ってか
This
も
is
うだいぶ前に
where
終
you
わった
gotta
けど、
fight for, if I'm honest. This is the
広角ど
ground
こに
you
乗ったの？
want to take is this hillside. It could probably house more than one team. I would say the problem if you're
まあ
up
別
here,
に後
especially
で
the
動画
game
見直
is
せば
gonna
すぐ
find
わか
out.
るんだけどさ、
It's very hard to control all the
会話
angles
の
of
種として
access, and you can really deny line of sight easy. Look at the way they're running on this one. I wonder if Hamster's going to spot it out yet. If they run the right routes, it's so hard to see.
Absolutely didn't see him. If it had just looked like a split second later, he would have seen Iroh running up that hill. Now he suspects something. Now he hears something, but is it too late? Iroh catches 50 or 45% of his health. Doesn't manage to finish him, and TSM realise that, okay, we've been scuppered. They're onto us. This is not a good spot to be, and they're instantly backing away.
Yeah, and look who else is turning up. Raise Your Edge on the other side. This hill is going to be very, very busy. There's a couple of nicer areas you can go to if you're not feeling yourself going into this one. Looks like they might be trying to keep this safe. 7, all 4 in a car. Piling in.
I wonder what chose them to go for that skin with that car.
God, oh, James.
This is, I mean...
まあでも言い方悪いけど、こうなんかもうがっつりリーグを追い続けてるわけじゃない意味からすると、エンスの勢いは本当に一瞬だったな。国内リーグの一瞬だ。まあ国内っていうか PEL の一瞬だったな。 確か国際戦微妙だったよね。
They're not going to play into it. They're not going to make noise. It's too risky.
All 4 members of D8 are looting.
1位で圧倒的に上がってきたんだけど、その結果の世界大会、割と死んでなかったっけ？
So they've gone over almost the TSM path across the river. NIP done similar. They were just ahead of them. They're kind of close to.
その世界大会の時俺 PEL ほとんど見てなかったから、一応ちらっとこうパッパッパって飛ばす感じで、その試合見たっていうか、その試合の結果とか流れとか点差とか見て、あ、エンスって場所めちゃくちゃ無双してる。なんだこのチーム超強いじゃんって思って、からの国際戦初披露みたいなところあったからな。そういう見方をしたとき、なんかもうとんでもない感じだった。あれ
？Behind the Knights, Na'Vi are now within the circle, but obviously coming across, so everybody's slowly working their way in.
It's that southern bridge at the moment, southwestern bridge, that's the busy one. You've got the Desperados phase, NIP, they're all kind of still around that area. And that's probably where the engagement's going to come from. Yeah, there you go. Desperados and FaZe getting a little bit too close by. This area here, the Desperados in, is okay if there's not a team on the hillside like NIP currently are. It just removes that little bit of safety from this compound, so the angles are no longer accessible.
日本で伝えるのは難しいけど、リキッドが今でいう、ラスカル的な位置なのかな、その世界戦の出場回数的な、回数というか、割合というか、みたいなところでいくと、もちろんリキッドの方が随分昔から出続けてるけど。
We've just had the first player fall, and now obviously it feels like that.
ちょっと前とかだったらザナドゥとかなのかな。
It just seems like everyone else piles in. Simsy actually getting caught by the Knights, and that was across the bridge on the other side, so they have no safety of angles here. That's why
ニップはでもちょっと前世界大会結構あれじゃなかった？結構活躍してなかった？なんかガクシーがクソ強かったイメージあるけど。なんかニップはなんかの世界大会で超活躍してた気がするぞ。
Meanwhile, we are seeing Team Liquid finally striking on Digital Athletics, and Digital Athletics is going to be completely surprised by that. Realizing Team Liquid are still there.
なんか超無双してなかったっけ？あれ何のあれいつの大会だっけな？
This is a struggle of a game. This is one where you're not feeling it going into late game. And we're seeing Ents still out in the blue here. Same for Reciprocity. They're all
いや、ウェルカムトゥサウスジョージの後だったと思うよ。もう2分になってからだったと思う。なんかあそこ覚えてんだよな。ミルタのちょっと北側のなんか岩のところでめっちゃ無双してた記憶だけ残ってる。
The other side of the river, so Na'Vi getting involved now as they start to come across. Drayden finished off. Na'Vi now looking to see how they can cross this bridge.
Let's see how they take it. It looks like they're just be firing on
もうね、そう、PGL って言われてもね、あー、PGL かーじゃないんだよな。PGL ってなんだっけから入るんだ。もうわかんねえ。
Very swift. That's what I like to see. Starting to get them a little waking up there. TSM, who were here very early on, they know that Game Legion are up on that hillside. They're looking to try and find a space. Gustav's really decided that.
ああ、そうそうそうそう、なんかミリベの南の岩の裏の場所になんかボートにいっぱい乗ってなんかこうやって待機してた記憶あるわ。
And they're actually coming into the west side of the Knights, so they may get stabbed in the back here.
Yeah, I want to see how that one plays out. I actually quite like Reciprocity's approach. I didn't like Ence's, even though they're doing a similar thing. It was just the time in the blue. I like this from Reciprocity, but this is scary.
なんかあの時その試合のその時のニップはその結果が残ってたかどうか覚えてないけど、すげえ記憶に残るキルをバードとガクシーかなんかがしてた気がする。
Here we go. That's Monkey towards Wanted. They've got to keep up that pace though, because FaZe are going to pay attention to this, and there's no big safety point for them if Uber can get line of sight towards the north side of the bridge. Not bridge, the, I guess, pond or lake.
Team Liquid crossed across from boot camp as well, so they swam over. So they're looking actually down towards N47. There's Reels trying
ま
to
あで
find
も
himself some sort of
多分
safety
ね、
net, but
世
it's
界
not
大会
happening.
はね、視聴者みんな熱くなってるからね、大体叩かれるよ。多分。15チームは叩かれてる。16チーム出てても。だってなんかネーションズカップの時の韓国語配信のコメントやばかったらしいしな。韓国2位だったけど、くっそ叩かれてたらしいしな。
So yeah, we are seeing that engagement kind of perpetually go on the southern side. No one crossing cleanly, and there's no real safety anywhere. This is one of the games that the pro players are going to hate now because there's no easy safety. They have to take fights. They'll be forced into these uncomfortable situations and scenarios. So we're going to see those kind of fraggers, I feel, standing up and maybe getting into this one. James in a bit of danger, though.
視聴者目線でいくとやっぱどうしても1位が狙えた位置だったってなるとね、高順位でも1位を取れなかったってなっちゃうんじゃないかな。まあ気持ちがわからんでもないけど。そこが悔しいって一緒に悔しがってくれる感じぐらいが俺の温度感的にはちょうどいい感じするけど。
We'll see, and I do use the word safely because it's going to be very tricky for him. As you see, look in the hillside. We were talking about that high hill approach. TSM also taking shots down the hill on them as the circle centers up on those cliffs.
Yeah, no one's surprised either. This is going to kind of open up the avenue for the likes of ENCE and Reciprocity. Again, the teams who are playing it slow, DA are on the other island still. They're just in boot camp chilling. They're not going to move until they have to.
There's no compound to send it to, that's why.
Yeah, they can't just send it across the river. Na'Vi's in danger. They actually probably going to struggle getting into this next circle. Don't know who's going to find them. It could be N47, it could be NIP, it could be TSM or Gamer Legion. It could be any of them.
Are they going to try and drive up to the North Bridge, I wonder?
車で渡るのかな
Play it this late, you got to commit to it, right? There's no way you're going to get
車
anywhere
で
else.
川渡りそうな。
Why not try and swing something? There is still room here. It's just not central, and it's such an open area on the northern side of this big hillside. And Senya in danger. Not happy with this one either. This is the N47 capture point. I'm waiting to see who finds them. Oh, Senya, run, gets out of there, and there goes T-Bone.
Yeah, he had the nade in his hand. Pokemondy caught him. He was literally about to throw it at Senya. So saved by Pokemondy. Former captain saving the current captain. That's what we like to see. Just about getting through the doorway. There we go. So, are they going to go north? It does look like it. North Bridge is where DA are going to try and send it to now. It is actually pretty safe. G2 and Razor Edge are in the compound nearby to the bridge. But outside of that, they should be able to get across. They're going to have to use the blue, though. And the blue's punishing. We're in phase 3, and it's going to be moving pretty damn quick.
Yeah, this one hurts, so they need to be quick on this move. We see NIP and FaZe quite close to each other. There is a bit of a hillside between them, so it's not too much of a
でもこの時の試合もそうだし、終盤の時の試合もそうだったけど、内側の方が比較的空いてるんだけど、本当に縁多いな。
So bad. I absolutely hate playing. Look how open you are to that hillside. Luckily, everyone's kind of keeping each other, locked in. That shot from Page. Oh, go on. Bang them out. This is why I love the old MK. It's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely, for me, the best gun in the game.
That is gorgeous. Mark 14 is lush.
With the SLR, lush. Oh, my word. That's
はぁ、強え、マジ。リキッド相手に完全に格付けしてるやん。はぁ、強っ。
Yeah, and here comes the fight. That'll be Crow Crowd clashing with ENCE up north.
完全に格付けするぞおじさんしてるじゃん。
They're just going, I don't know where they're going. They're just driving. They're,
where they don't get shot at is where they're going.
Pretty much. Oh, Misa got to get out, and Mika's on the other side. Fin on fin action at this point.
Yeah, that was a horrible moment. Gemty will get finished off by Bestalosh as well. Metralius, well, they thought they'd found a safe spot, but unfortunately for them, 7 are down low. Nowhere to go, getting peppered, and DA will go down 14th place for them.
Yeah, it's somewhat to be expected, and this is the end result of this absolutely awful compound for M47. You can't leave it easily. And I think they've realized that, and now they're down to just Vazku. Na'Vi played this very patiently, and they've really bided their time. The next circle is brutal because they're just at the foot of the hill now. Same with FaZe, NIP. Any of the teams in the south are in real danger. Reciprocity trying to leave camp. Alpha is going to be very tricky too. Raise Your Edge, TSM, and Gamer Legion. When I say TSM, it's just really Iroh and Gustav. Those teams have everything they need.
Yeah, it's hard to read from this position because the topology of the map, because it's such a high cliff angle. There you go, that suits it more. You can see the advantage position, these gigantic cliffs, Everybody that's up there is safe. King of the hill, literally. G2 find themselves a little nook just inside the circle. Reciprocity and Seven are engaging upon one another, but Seven, 2 on the roof.
確かにこうやってピックアップされてるのを見てると、
trying to get across, and that's a good position. So now their complete
うわ、
attention has been
しつ
drawn away
こ
from Udyr. Udyr may be able to make a move. Monkey's trying to toss
the
the nades
bank.
onto it.
Oh, they're so lucky to be
Ah,
really
自殺間に合わず。
keeping in awareness. They made it with 2, they've
Oh,
made it with 2 others. Monkey is
もしもし？
lucky to be alive, and they are pretty curious as to
Seven
how
さん？
no one has third party towards 7, and actually it's Reciprocity in danger.
They needed more cover. They needed to
あ、
put
つ、
more
あ
pressure on
ら
them, and Seven instead, while the bite came in, everybody's attention was drawn left. They needed to get out fighting. Instead, they pulled in to heal up or whatever, and that just completely screwed Udyr and Monkey in the field.
And now a push from
お前
Na'Vi,
もうガソリ
focusing
ンが
themselves towards Team Liquid in the southeast. Maybe gonna try and follow their steps in or just pounce behind them. Well geared up for this, looking like they could really get that high ground
あれ
working
ゴ
for
リラズ
themselves.
ドープネスまだ
Molloy
起きてるじゃん。
spots out Samty, but I think that's mutually seen. Both teams now know what they're up against.
Yeah, nades downhill. Going to be a big advantage for Pokamolado here. That's going straight to Samty's tree. What's he going to do from that one? He goes a little too far, shows himself a little too much to Ibi as well. Ibi gets himself the shots. Bearing in mind, Team Liquid are in the
Samty's got one.
circle, and Navi are
Oh,
not.
God, and Iroh's just found
Iroh gets
Pokamolloy.
involved from the hillside, and Navi will
Now
fall.
be
Don't tussle with Liquid. These guys have some real sustainability. Thanks, Iroh, by the way. Give him a bit of a pat on the back for that one. But now look at NIP and FaZe. This has been bubbling the whole time as well in the southeast. You have Gamer Legion. I think that's Fex firing down towards maybe Miraku or Vard. This is Mikaz over towards the northwestern side.
It's misleading because FaZe, yeah, I'm going to say they're directly below them, right? Yeah, there you go. So
Just
FaZe are in
around
this
the corner.
position. If it pulls away, they can just keep on creeping along the edge of the cliffs. But they're kind of running out of time to get on the hill. They have to go now. If they want to get on the hill and maybe with a chance of winning the game, or do they want a chance at getting a placement? Because that's really what they're aiming at now.
And I think they've been spotted. MBS now is going to make it really uncomfortable. That blue is going to lock them off from the southern approach they could have utilized before. Now they're forced to kind of run the lower side, which means they need Ents and 7 to be gone. They need that freedom to stay alive here. And Ents are making it tricky because they're fighting towards 7 and they're picking up these kills. They're staying alive for now. They haven't been third partied yet because I think Vision's tricky over that side.
And it's a fight they have to win fast because that blue is going to be punishing. It's going to be pushing very quickly. Sadovnik, last man standing, will get taken down. Ents need to either pick up the body of Mikaz quick or just forget it and go because 2 seconds, 1 second, now the blue's on them and it moves really fast in phase 5.
Yeah, and I saw a tag coming in from FaZe, so they definitely know what's there. They know what they need to do, and they've got Uber on the case. I think it was FuzzFace who got the tag first, so contact was made. G2 going to try and make their plan work in the northeast, but they're so far out here. They're just going to send it. It's probably going to be Razor Edge who pick them up. They're the ones who got line of sight. Yeah, there goes one. Yanis is maybe a 2-shot here. The car's not looking so great either. Uber's success, and the flush from 8C towards Triple H has worked well. And actually, Yanis has made it to some degree. He's going to maybe at least be able to join up with Chris.
Straight into Liquid.
Yeah, look at Ibi and Samty preparing. Samty probably going to use the low ground if he can on that one.
Ibi hears them. No helmet for Ibi there. I don't know what else he's got, but he's going to catch Chris by surprise. As soon as he comes around, they might even go aggressive on Yanis. Yanis is just about getting the heal off. Looks like he's down to bandages by the look of him, because that wasn't a big heal.
If you wanted to look at what FaZe had to do, Lee, they've succeeded. They cleared out that northwestern side. They got a couple of shots in the back from, I think, Fex and Miraku.
They're going to move fast.
But they've done it. They've got enough to secure them now into this circle.
You can see the south side of the camera angle there. They have to run fast to get up that hill. Makandark's covering it, so he realizes this is the only entry point for this team down below us. So we've got to make sure they can't get up the hill. This would be an epic play from FaZe if they can make it work.
And I like this approach from Crow Crowd. It's I don't think it's a fallen tree. It's just like a weird little connecting rock that leads from one high point to another that leads you into this plateau. And Razor Edge are up here. But it's a weird little night. I like this position. I really like it. So I'm happy to see them using it.
Gamer Legion needs to stop being greedy now. They're basically covering every angle of this circle. They have to consolidate the position, realize there's still 20 players out there, make it 19 now as G2 will go down to Samty. And they have to start getting their position secured for a potential win. And it's a win they need. Gamer Legion way down that bottom of the table, just a single win to their name.
Let's have a look here. Team Liquid going to start their southern push round. FaZe going on the north. That's
Quiz
Macandar
up.
who's going to greet them. It's Fex who's going to have to deal with NIP. And as you said, Game Legion are too split up to handle two big teams pushing them. Maybe Hamster's Crossfire could help them out, but...
So now here comes the comms. Fex is like, yeah, there's a team pushing me, there's a team pushing me. Macandar's like, I'm pretty sure I hear another team, guys. And now they need to make the decision. Bjorn, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Hamster, how are you going to support? Hamster's the other side of the rock, so this could help out. If he comes over, he's going to catch all of NIP completely napping down below, but he's looking towards the other side.
Yeah, Fex is in a bit of trouble because NIP are creeping up really slowly, and here's that contact in the north, and it looks like Game Legion were focused on the south, and now they have to commit to NIP. Macandar just needs to try and stay alive, do what he can. Uber's so good. That was an advantageous angle I felt for Macandar there, but Uber just, you know, has success. Luckily for Game Legion, they're winning out on the other front, so that's great news for them. They can at least kind of focus fire towards it, and they need to get rid of Gaxi.
これ GL フェーズプラン側に寄らなきゃいけなかったな。
They push it. They know where it's gonna hurt.
これはさすがに勝てん。おおおおお。
They
あら
just took NIP down completely, so they could quickly swing their attention. Everybody's running this way. They've caught two members of FaZe out. Fuzzface and Uber, the last two standing. This could be a massive performance from Game Legion. That nade going down. Fex comes around the side and realizing they're down, both down below. Crow Crowd, meanwhile, on the east have managed to get in and sweep out Raise Your Edge. And don't forget, TSM still have two alive in this circle.
They certainly do. They've been very quiet, but what a perfect performance from Macandar. He was so calm and collected. Bjorn and Hamster are going hunting when FaZe still have two players up. I don't know if this is a misread or if they're just feeling, they're really feeling the game here.
リキッド死んだ
Look, they've completely.
おいリキッドが無双する世界線どこだよ
The position is on this ruins, this area that we've had, and they're going to get into the position to try and win this game. 4 alive, the only team with 4 alive, FaZe down to 2, TSM 2, and Tixu is actually coming up
いつまで経っ
behind
ても
TSM.
I think Tixu's dead here.
リキッド
though.
の世界線
Blue's
に
too
たどり
strong.
着け
He
ね
just didn't have the quickness to him to be able to get away from it. TSM are creeping.
1週間飛ばしたのに
Hamster might hear it
1週間じゃ
eventually.
ない
I'm
1
sure
日飛ばしたのに
just cutting sound, trying to be really, really sneaky. FaZe are doing the same thing, I can imagine. They're probably being quite quiet about this
Gustav
too.
made footsteps there. Hamster heard it.
Oh, Gustav. Elephant.
Underhand. Whoop. That's a nice little underhand. That's a really good angle as well. It's going to force him to move quicker.
It didn't catch him. FaZe actually might be able to use the ground here that Game Legion can't see, and they can be so focused after hearing those steps.
He doesn't need to peek this because of the position of Bjorn and Fex here. That he's like, yeah, there's two underneath me, and the information goes out, forces them in, straight into the crosshairs. Nicely played, Gamer Legion. That was well executed.
They've got to know that FaZe are the other
Fex.
team now, but
Got
they've
to
given
fix
FaZe
these.
not a lot. Do not get me wrong, they have not given them a lot, but it's still FaZe, and there's still a danger in giving them any real estate.
It's Uber and Fuzz looking to try and make the move. If two players can do it, it is these. Gamer Legion, though, they've executed everything so far on this hill
いやでも
exactly as
ウー
planned.
バーと
They
お
are
父さんな
sweeping.
らや
They're
って
trying
く
to
れ
stay
る
as 4 and work their way around. I don't mind that. And it's center point now. For FaZe to win this, it would be a miracle. No nades on Fuzzface. That's a bit of a shame. Maybe a smoke or two could have really helped him out. Game Legion just need to trade effectively and not allow Uber to have, you know, a crazy pop-off moment or Fuzzface. That's it. And if you play the correct way, you know, cross your T's, dot your I's, all that jazz, you should be okay. Should.
Bjorn's gone to the center point.
Ooh, Uber's got utility.
Uber, yeah, Molly and Smokes. Looking to try and find the angle on Fuzz. If they can get a knock to begin things. Vector for Fex. He sees Hamster. Hamster sees him. Gonna go for the trade. Doesn't really work out for them. Instant shots. Uber now unseen still. Up close. Bjorn's making a move. Gamer Legion, they're moving as a line straight towards FaZe. This is a risky move from them. He gets across the side there. They do get one down. Fuzz gets close enough, but Gamer Legion take it. A really well executed 11 kill win for them. Their second win as well. And we're starting to see those teams starting to pick things up down the bottom. That's what we like to see. The promo pressure is on these guys. They have to start performing to get a win like that. It's a confidence boost going into the final week.
It is, and they played it well. The way they handled that fight, who was it between? It was NIP and FaZe.
Yeah.
That to me was their highlight moment. The win is great. They had 4 alive against 2. They had good positioning. But still, for me, that was the moment. They picked the fight to commit to. They pulled all their resources, those 3 players back to take on NIP. They left Macandar to hold back. He didn't need to peek too much. He just had to stop FaZe and be able to get that crunch, and he succeeded, and that kept them in the game.
Fantastic stuff. Let's hear from Gamer Legion with Sam.
Gamer Legion sitting in the bottom of the teams in this phase, so the pressure is now on, knowing that they could drop into promotions week. risky play.
ほな。
1-1-1 split that was going on, the 2-2 split. When you saw the circle towards the end game, was that the plan? Was we just going to take a few risks and hope it pays off?
To hold that hole, you need
な
exactly
ぜ
that split
2-2スプリットではな
so
く
you can, like, hold each
1-1-1-1
other.
の
So you
4
hold-
箇所に
you
スプリッ
basically
トする
hold
リスクを
every
取ったんですか
angle that can come up, and we just kill people.
You just killed people. There we go. You did do that. You've got your chicken dinner second. How much pressure is on the team now, knowing where you're sitting in the leaderboard? Does that play a big role in how you start playing now, moving into the final week?
Yeah, it definitely does. I think so. I don't feel it, but I can my what do you call it? Like calls are different than if we didn't have any pressure.
わからん。
Do you feel that you need to play a bit more aggressive now as you move into that
Nice
final week?
me.
Is this chicken dinner going to allow you to feel more confident to play that more aggressive style we saw in this game?
I think we